So, ma'am, like everybody has been touching upon the academic aspects, like that at academics level we need to engage more youth. So, I would like to have your aspect, your perspective on the point that what modifications or what changes we can have in the academic curriculum, present academic curriculum, which can encourage students in general, to not just women but in general, to everybody, to take up the nuclear engineering. So what are your thoughts on this thing?
So thank you, Sunela, for this question. So I have been there. When I was studying, I was in school, I was looking for a field which I can go for. But at time when I passed my school, I couldn't decide. So I opted for general physics so that I can have this option to choose whatever field I want to go in. And then I found this nuclear program in Delhi University, which was very interesting, very motivating, but it wasn't have been heard of by many people. So what is important is that we have many high education courses. You can opt for your master's or for your bachelor's for the nuclear program. But what is important is that as a student, when you are growing up, you are thinking about your career. If you know about these options at that time, that will help you to channelize your energy and look for a path where you want to go in future. So what is important is that to the youth, we tell them what are the problems, what is the energy crisis, what is the climate change, what is nuclear. So we have many options to choose from, like renewable sources of energy and so on, but also to just tell them what all exists, to just expose them to different aspects which we can use to solve the problem of energy crisis or climate change, because we are the one who knows that it is coming and they are the one who are going to face it in their future. So we should educate them more about the issues and the possible solutions, with nuclear being one of them. And then we should tell them different aspects of nuclear, not just a thing which you read in a book, because what you read you forget, but what you see will remain in your mind forever. So if there are simple experiments or simple examples, by visiting the science museum, or we have so many organizations in India where they can have welcoming students just to tell them about different aspects which they can see themselves in the field of nuclear energy, that can tell them, okay, this is what it is. And when they see, they will go and look for it. Now we have internet, so they can go to whatever they want to know, and I think the information and knowledge is there. But to have that spark, to create that spark in the child is important. And once you have that spark, then they will follow it forever. And this motivation can come through the curriculum by having more and more demonstrations or experiments, or very simple concepts, like for example, I'm working in fusion and we have ring shaped tokamak, and the very basic question is, why you have a ring, why don't you have a sphere or a square? And I happen to see a very simple demonstration to answer that. It was done for the school kids by a lab based in Netherlands, and it was so amazing. You just take a black box, you spray some aerosol, which is not dangerous, so you can just visualize the particles, and just you puff the air out of different shapes. And irrespective of you choose a rectangle, square, triangle, circle, the particles will bond together to form a torus. And this is the natural tendency of the particles. Have I read that in a book? I'm sure I would have not remembered. But having seen that, this simple concept stay in your mind. The second important aspect is that you have motivated the youth, but you also have to teach their family and their friends who are, who have this myth that nuclear is dangerous because they don't see the radiation. And if you are afraid of things you see, but you are more afraid of the things that you don't see. So we have to educate the child and their family that it is not dangerous. We have to tell them about the safety norms that are in place to make sure that everything stays safe. And this can be done only through education. We can educate the child itself at the very young level so that he knows about these safety aspects. We can have awareness to the general public so that they know about this. And I have been there because I am the one who asked this question to my professor when I joined nuclear. And I asked my professor, sir, I have joined this nuclear program, but I have so many questions coming from my family and friends. And I'm happy he was there. So he's late Dr. Raghuveer Singh, and I will forever remember him. And he has been my role model. And his words was like, radiation doesn't know if a male is standing or if a female is standing. It will harm both the people in the same way with the same physics. Definitely you have to restrain yourself, or you have to be safe when you are carrying a life, when you are pregnant. But there are so many other things that you don't do when you are pregnant, this being one of them. But inherently, like, radiation will not differ for a male. Radiation will say, okay, this is a female, I'm going to damage her more as compared to a male. So these kind of myths, as a teacher, I remember myself. I'm sure if Archana is lucky that she doesn't get these questions, but I remember when we asked these questions, we both were together asking to ourselves. So I'm happy that people are now not asking, these questions which doesn't make sense. They are asking more logical questions, like how you are handling a radiation source, which is very good to know. The myths is clearing away, and I hope we can have the same clarification, or same disappearance of myth all over India, not just in the metro cities, but everywhere in India. So that is, I think, the more important message that we should take for the youth. So I hope I answered your question.